What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a minute since I've been in front of the camera. How y'all doing? I wanted to just get the camera rolling and share some thoughts. You know, I hope everybody's 2025 is starting off great. A lot of energy, a lot of goals, a lot of new chapters being opened this year, and I'm in a new beginning. I say this because 2024 was that strange year. It was probably the lowest year for my business, although I will say that despite business was low, man, we had such a good time in 2024. But now that it's 2025, knowing what I know now, I've been being pulled in this new direction. Let's first start off with mindset. One of the biggest shifts in my personal ecosystem is that I am reintroducing faith back into the core of who I am. For those of you who don't know me, let's rewind back a little bit. So I am DJ, also known as HADJI. I run a production company called HADJI Studios, and we, in its simplest form, evangelize brands and businesses through gangster rap inspired anti-corporate film. And through the years, it's been my bread and butter, and it's been a lot of fun. I say it's been because in the past tense, because now I'm shifting into this new direction with a business. You know, with 2024 being a very low year, during my annual planning, some of that is trying to erase ego from everything and objectively observe what's working, what wasn't working, and why wasn't it working. And the biggest thing, things weren't working out was because I didn't have a true purpose or a true guiding light. And that's why I've been back to observing faith a lot more intently than I have had in the past. You see, I'm a preacher's kid. My dad belongs to the Episcopal Church. He is matter of fact, he's the lead priest for the Episcopal Church of the Holy Spirit out in Safety Harbor, which is close to Clearwater for the people who aren't familiar with the Tampa Bay area. And I think having that relationship or lack of relationship with faith was the perfect macrocosm for what HADJI Studios was. Last year, I was just going through the motions, trying to run a business almost with like a chicken with its head cut off. There were so many shiny things that I tried to tackle all at once. And unfortunately, because I didn't have that sense of direction, things didn't quite pan out as I expected them to. And so going back to addressing what the issues were, I went back to the core. And so this year, I am doing everything more faith-based. What does that mean? Well, it means having a grander understanding of the scheme of things, understanding what the purpose is and the why. And one of the things I'm beginning to realize, you know, we talk about time is money, right? And trying to attain that freedom of time. But in reality, I don't think time should be the target. I think it should be the quality of attention. Because by virtue of quality of attention, that will result in the quality of the time. And I wasn't doing that last year. So as I'm going through this whole spiritual journey, and mind you, I'm a human, I make mistakes, I still get tempted. Matter of fact, part of this journey is being able to walk on the intersection of the secular and the sacred, and being able to impact both. And so just because I've got this new sense of direction doesn't mean I'm going to go all preacher on everybody. No, for me, I'm not even that kind of guy. I would rather my actions speak for the new operating system that I'm installing in this existence of mine. It's very existential, but if you guys follow me, I hope you understand the direction that I'm going. Now, with 2024, right, I feel like it's kind of like a rebuild of the foundation of what is the core of, let's talk about business, right? With business. HADJI Studios. I had meaningful conversations over the past months with business leaders, mentors, fellow industry peers, and something that I would say became an aha moment for me was when I asked somebody, hey, when you think of HADJI Studios, what do you think of? And they told me, you make movies, bro. You make bougie videos. And I'm like, well, that's great for the ego, but what kind of impact am I making in my communities? And so the more I began to ruminate on that, like, yes, as a creative, you want to put out the best. Matter of fact, you should be, if you are a creative, putting out your best effort. Otherwise, what's the point? You've been given the gift, you've been blessed with creativity, share it with people, right? And so as I began to think about that, I was like, yeah, I was making beautiful things, but I wasn't really sharing it with people. So what can I do? How can I rearrange the business so that I can be so much more impactful? And mind you, the mentors, the business leaders, a lot of them are in the creative space, the marketing space. And they all kept telling me, bro, you gotta take what you're doing with HADJI Studios and be able to scale it at mass. What do you mean? Well, have you ever considered doing video ads or short form reels? Well, I do them for myself, but really it's more like self-servicing content that I produce. I mean, if you follow my social media, I guarantee you follow me because my content is unique. And that's not being boastful. That's just what the feedback has been from a lot of people. And so I'm like, okay, if I'm doing this for myself and I'm impacting and influencing a lot of people, why don't I apply that to my business? And so I'm in this beautiful, chaotic decision-making bowl of soup, if you will, where I'm trying to now rearrange the business model to take all of that feedback and figure out a new way of serving. So in short, yes, HADJI Studios is still going to be producing brand films, high-end video, but that's not going to be front and center. I think I'm going to readjust and pivot into more of that social media space. One of the questions that I had asked one of my mentors was, reputation, like what does that do to the reputation of the brand? Does that taint it negatively? Is there some kind of substantial impact to it? He told me, bro, your reputation is going to fuel that. Interesting. Maybe that's the differentiator. I'm taking what I've learned from brand film, and granted, by no means am I the cream of the crop. There's a lot more people out there that are better than I am, and I believe, and I accept that. Right? Yes, it's a competitive space, but it's also a collaborative space. But what I find is that, you can't just base your brand on the accolades. It needs to be based on how people experience you. What is the experience like when a client comes through the doors of HADJI Studios and they want to work with me? How does it make them feel to work with me? In this rebranding phase, I have been doing research and trying to understand what, this kind of service would look like. So within the next few months, expect a heavy dose of, you're probably going to see some ads through your feeds. You're probably going to see a lot more content that is targeting more towards this new service and offering. I'm starting from scratch. And this is something that I learned last year, guys. If you're excellent at something, charge a premium. But if you're not, then you're going to have to scale it down and create data to support that. And so that's what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months is I'm going to be taking in maybe 3, maybe 4 clients that want to test this new pilot service and see how it goes. I think that nothing should be free if you're good at it. Of course, this is not going to be free, but what I am going to do with it is package it in a way that I'll be discounting the services because, I'm completely new to it. But if it does fly and it does produce the outcomes that I think this will produce, then I'm going to start charging premium. But at these early stages, just like early adopters, it's building that clout and building that authority. That's the move right now from a business standpoint. I want to digress. I want to move towards, other aspects in my life. So most recently, and if you didn't know, I'm recovering from surgery. I had foot surgery back in December, but it's about close to 7 weeks now post-op, and I've since graduated from a surgical boot to now I can walk around in some New Balance sneakers. Feels so liberating to be able to get back to cycling. I remember, this was last week, and today is the January 31st. So last week my doctor gave me the thumbs up to be able to get back on the bike. And to say I was happy and excited was an understatement. Because if you know me, cycling's my thing. It's my sanctuary. It's where I not only go to exercise and stay healthy, but it's also my space to clear my head, to enable new thoughts and ideas to come into my head. Sometimes the best ideas come from, a good ride through the trails. Yeah, I've been dealing with healing. Healing has been a big theme, whether it's the business or my physical existence. I think that in going through this journey, you begin to, if you've ever been recovering from an injury, you know how much time it takes and how much patience and how much frustration and depression come along with that territory. And I felt it all, man. But I will say that if you, through convalescence, letting time do its thing, there's going to be a level of light. There's going to be, if it's a small light or if it's a large light, there's going to be light, period. You just have to set your mind towards that specific light. That's what this whole faith-based journey is for me. It's okay, there's a light right there. It's not shining too bright yet because I'm not seeing the wealth come in, or I'm seeing, relationships around me are being torn apart, or my time is all over the place and my attention's all over the place. Like all this stuff, all of those things become more clear the moment you start focusing on some kind of a light, whether that's, Christianity, Buddhism, whatever it may be. A higher order of things is what I consider to be some form of a light. So I'm gonna end this rant, if you will, with nothing but love and peace and a sense of encouragement. Hopefully you got more insight into where I'm at as a human being and as a person. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what 2025 is going to bring. It's that chapter that we all have the opportunity to write. Damn, that sounds so cliche, and I hate using those kind of references, but I'm feeling kind of basic at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to end it at that. All right, y'all. That's it for now. Maybe I'll continue to do more of these. Maybe I won't, or maybe I should. That's the question. Anyways, Uncle HADJI, peace out, nieces and nephews. Love.